This is a 3D printed clamp, and it's one of the most popular clamp designs on printables. And there's a reason why it's one of the most popular. Well, obviously, how old it is and if it was one of the first models on the website is one thing, but also how successful it is, because the user experience and the rating system, like 5 stars, has a huge factor on how popular a model can get. And this one clearly has a ton of 5-star ratings, and that's not a mistake, and that's not a coincidence. So let's see what made this specific design so perfect and so well designed for manufacturing, in our case 3D printing, so that it works basically on any person's situation in 3D printer. Let's get right into it. So you can see, first of all, let me disassemble this because I had previously assembled it for another video. Okay, here we are. So you printed your part and it comes off the build plate in 3 pieces. Let's start with the biggest one. So you can see where the part aligns with the bed. So this is the smooth surface and it prints like this. So pretend my table is the build plate. Now these little cutouts here, and see how the cutouts have these little slopes in here? Well, first of all, he could have made these completely filled, okay? Well, if you completely fill it, that's fine. It makes things pretty strong, but there's one thing you need to consider, which is warping. So this is a really great example of designing to prevent warping, and warping is caused by really big surface areas. This is an example where I optimized to not have warping. Really big surface areas touching the surface, and when it cools down and how the temperatures fluctuate, the plastic will contract, and that contracting motion is what will cause some parts of it to lift up. And I think I can find an example. So this is actually part of my shredder gearbox, and you can see right here, this is nowhere near perfectly flat. So if I take a relatively flat object, like this guy right here, you can see how this edge right here on the corner, that's lifted up, and that's due to warping because I did not optimize this design to prevent warping. So that's the first thing. That's one of the reasons why these cutouts are here. And obviously these are additional cutouts which serve the same purpose, but I guess these are hollowed out so that you can stick your fingers through it or whatever. Now, instead of just directly having a cutout, you want to still have some material for strength, because remember, this is a clamp and it's allegedly, although because you're 3D printing, it doesn't need to bear that much strength, but it's allegedly supposed to be strength bearing, so you don't want to have a completely hollow part, right? So you want to have some material. Now, how are you going to do that, right, without completely filling this hole? Well, you can create this little like bridging, but why is it angled? Because remember, 3D printers, they can 3D print on an angle, like a sloped surface. Like almost all 3D printers can do 45-degree angles. Some good ones can go up to 70 degrees. So by having these angles in here, you're designing for manufacturing, because now the 3D printer can easily handle the part. Okay, perfect. All right, and the thing is, another part of his genius is that he does it on both sides. That means no matter what orientation you printed in, it's all going to turn out the same, quite simply because, for example, if the user makes an error and accidentally flips it in a slicer, or he's doing some CAD modifications and he rotates it, it's all going to turn out fine. And everything else, the general design, it's quite nicely shaped. I mean, obviously, it's quite an aesthetic design. But one last thing on this base. You see this thing right here? What is this little lip right here? Shouldn't he have just done a perfect circle because the thread is in a circular shape? Well, remember, 3D printers can't handle extreme overhangs, so when you design circles that are going to be 3D printed, you want to eliminate the almost 90-degree overhang bridging right here by having a 45-degree overhang on top of that. Focus. Good. Okay, see, so now this hole can print successfully, enabling the threads to print successfully. And you can see he literally just cut, the creator literally just cut a slit straight through the circle right here. And these threads, whether they're custom or not, work pretty fine. And one thing is, see how thick the threads are? I can't bring anything for scale super quickly right here, but let's just take these pliers for scale. These threads, and we can move on to this part. These threads are quite thick, in fact. You can see how they're not very small, and especially with 3D printing, because it's not a super accurate manufacturing method, that's gonna cause some imperfections. So if you have super small threads, that's not gonna be good, and it's gonna lock up. And remember, this is designed for thousands and thousands, maybe millions of people to manufacture. You want every single one to be a success, right? You can't have those with just the perfectly fine-tuned machines to make it work. You want everyone, even those with low-end machines, to have it work. Okay, enough said about that. Now let's talk about the thread. Okay, so again, this is a thread. To me, it looks like a custom thread because it looks like a coil just spun around this cylindrical shaft. But the best part about this, and please, if you're designing anything with threads, take this into account, because he made the very bottom flat, and it came off the build plate like this. So it's printed, you take it off, and everything comes out perfect. Why did he make it like this? It's because, remember, 3D printers can't print in midair. So if you aligned it like this and there was a full cylinder, it would have 3D printer would have a hard time making those almost impossible geometries, and it's gonna be sloppy, and there's a chance that your thread might not work. Well, you could say an alternative is printing it vertical. So the build plate is right here, and the printer is printing it from bottom to the top. Well, what happens is that makes a really, really, really weak part, because remember, the weakness is in the layer lines, and because the layer lines are like this, you could easily snap it. Now, because he aligns it horizontally, no, you cannot snap it, unless you're super strong, of course. Otherwise, besides that, everything turns out really crisp. And even though he cuts off a good margin of the cylinder on the bottom, the thread still works perfectly fine because the majority of the thread is there. Now, I myself have gone to an even further extreme where I've cut a rectangle off the bottom and I've cut the rectangle off the top, because sometimes you can see, focus, you can see there's some staircase effect. It might be hard to see, but definitely it really depends on your printer. And I usually also cut off a rectangle from the top, but in this case, this is also perfectly fine. And last but not least, the cap. Now, this is nearing to the end of the video, and I don't have too much to say, but the cap, remember, is going to be coming in contact with here, and it also needs to snap on to this, the thread, okay? So the best part about the cap is the fact that you need to remember that not all materials are super rubbery like CPU. PLA and PETG can flex, but they're inherently rigid. So whenever you try to design snap fit parts, or you want to click into place like this, you want to make sure you're giving it some room to flex. So that's why he cuts out these little channels here, so that they can flex and ultimately fit in, like that. Well, if you don't, if the creator didn't add these little cutouts, that'll make it very hard to flex, and it might even make it a harder time to fit this in. And now you know why this design is such a good design. Although simple, it's a very practical design, and it's good for those on-the-go moments where you just need a clamp, and it doesn't need to be on a super, super, super intense load. Quite honestly, I love this design, and And I hope you enjoyed this video breaking down the design aspects of this 3D model, 3D printed clamp. I'll put a link to this 3D model in the description, and I hope you learned something new today. And with that said, thank you very much for watching, and have a great day. This video is sponsored by PCBWay. Whether you need high-quality PCBs, CNC machining, 3D printing, or injection molding, PCBWay has got you covered. Their fast turnaround and great pricing make them my go-to for prototyping and custom parts. Check them out at PCBWay.com, link in the description.